розповідати якісь цікаві моменти. І окрім того, запис це для нас, просто щоб воно на пам'ять залишилося. І у вас є можливість ставити запитання і взаємодіяти. Тому, будь ласка, використовуйте цю можливість, будьте активними. Я буду намагатися перекладати деякі моменти протягом того, як Кріс і Дон будуть розповідати. Але якщо вам щось не зрозуміло, не просто підіймайте руку, а от прямо вмикайте мікрофон і питайте. Там зупиняйте, питайте українською, англійською, як вам зручно, щоб вам було все ясно. Don, Chris, you're welcome.
Hello, and thank you for joining me at the beach today. So, well, let's go ahead and get started with our lesson here. Marina, if you could start our presentation, please.
Друзі, це Кріс, він привітався і сказав дякую, що ви доєдналися на пляжі до нього, якщо ви зрозуміли, сподіваюся.
Today, we're going to practice our American English, and we're going to talk about Yellowstone National Park, one of America's natural reserves, natural preserve, very famous, very big park here. And also, last time, someone asked us about American good luck charms. So we're going to talk a little bit more today about American superstitions.
Як ви зрозуміли, сьогодні у нас, я буду дуже коротко вам перекладати, у нас основна тема – це Єллоустонський національний парк і американські забобони. You're welcome.
Next slide, please. So let's practice our English. We always start by introducing ourselves in English. Then I'm going to ask you what you had for lunch today. I haven't had lunch yet, still breakfast time here. But let's get started. I'll start. I'm trying to remember what my name is. Sasha, help me now. What's my name?
Your name, please.
My name is Chris. My name is Chris. So
Sorry for
I think I'm going to have tacos
lateness.
today for lunch. I like that picture. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Sorry for the lateness.
I remember you. That's all right. I'm glad you're here. So again, my name is Chris. I haven't had lunch yet. Sasha, why don't you go next?
Of course. My name is Sasha. Today I had borscht for the lunch. It was very
Why is
tasty.
your name Alexandra then?
Because Alexandra, it's also Sasha.
You have two completely different names?
No, there's the same. Because Alexandra in Ukrainian, you know, it can be Sasha.
What do you mean? How can it?
It's her
I said,
alias.
How can it translate into Sasha?
Like that. It's historical moment. I will tell you a bit later if you are interested in this. I can share with you and I can tell how it happened. It's very interesting.
Anyways,
She's actually a secret
my
agent.
name is Maxime.
Maxime, I remember
I
you.
ate bread.
Very good. Someone else, please?
Друзі, ще хтось?
And only coffee for. I'm very satisfied.
You're satisfied with just coffee?
Right.
Okay. Next person, please.
My name is Myron, and I eat for breakfast. It's egg and some sausage.
Did you have anything for lunch yet?
I ate soup and sandwiches.
Sounds good. Anyone else want to tell us? Introduce themselves and tell us what you had for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner. I like talking about food.
And I.
Друзі, ще хтось, не соромтесь.
My name is Dennis.
Hello?
I had in the lunch soup.
Soup? Very good. Anyone else want to share with us? Dawn, what did you have for lunch? No, you haven't had lunch. You're in America. I forgot. You're not in Ukraine. So what did you have for breakfast?
Yep. So, hey everybody, my name's Dawn. And that would be like in the morning when the sun comes up, that kind of a dawn. I have not had lunch yet, but for breakfast, I had a bagel with peanut butter and an apple, and it was delicious.
Very healthy. Anyone else want to share?
I think nobody.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. So now we know that we talk about something that we did in the past tense, something that we ate in the past tense. You can say, I ate McDonald's this morning, or you can say, I had McDonald's this morning. And I really did. And I will have tacos for lunch.
Друзі,
So,
як ви зрозуміли, мабуть, ви знаєте це
go ahead,
правило.
please.
Ви говорите про минулий час, те, що у вас було. Ви можете, зокрема, про те, що ви їли. Ви можете сказати обидва варіанти. Як я їв, I ate, так і у мене було, I had. І що саме у вас було на сніданок чи на обід. Yes, Chris?
Somebody tell me, do you have tacos in Ukraine?
We have.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Now I know there's something I can eat in Ukraine. Next slide, please. So, idiom is kind of a new word to me, but it basically means if you use idioms, it helps you sound like an actual American. So the start, an idiom is a group of words whose meaning cannot be deduced from the definitions of the individual words. Sounds a little confusing, but it's true. And when we practice these, you'll understand. Sasha, please.
Сьогодні ми говоритимо з вами про ідіоми. Насправді можна їх перекласти такі більш на український варіант, але насправді це, давайте говорити ідіоми, це буде більш правильно. Насправді ідіоми – це така група слів. Якщо їх розглядати окремо, то в них немає сенсу. Тобто вони лише коли разом, коли це одна фраза, тоді вони складають якийсь особливий зміст. І досить часто там бувають слова, які не пов'язані одне з одним. Ви побачите на прикладі, коли ми почнемо розглядати на наступному слайді. Yes, Chris?
So idioms carry a figurative meaning that is
Not
culturally...
really an American, but just a regular native speaker.
Yeah, a regular native American speaker. So if you use these, you'll sound authentic. So idioms carry a
So
figurative
different
meaning.
idioms exist for different variants of English.
Yeah, if I understand your question, I think so, because there's going to be American ones that you use here, and if you go to some place like Great Britain, the United Kingdom, they're going to have different ones there. Is
Wait,
that what you're asking?
does Ukrainian have idioms too?
Of course.
You'll have
We
to
have.
tell me a couple when we get past the American ones. I'm curious
Already
about that.
natural documented languages have idioms.
I would say yes.
Угу.
So idioms, they have a figurative meaning. So that goes along with your question. So they're culturally understood by the native speakers.
I can make an example right now. For example, наприклад, я можу тобі навести приклад. Наприклад, скалити зуби. Скалити зуби – це сміятися. Тобто є таке дуже багато фразеологізмів, це фразеологізми, які прямого змісту не несуть. Наприклад, вискочити на сухе, уникнути покарання. Тобто такі фразеологізми є в кожній мові. Сьогодні ми поговоримо про американські, але в Україні так само їх дуже багато. Yes, Chris, you're welcome.
So these idioms, these expressions will add color, depth, and cultural context to communications. And so we use them all the time, every day. I use at least one or two every day. So it's very common for you to hear these phrases when you're speaking American English or talking to an American like myself.
Друзі, як ви зрозуміли, ці фразеологізми або ідіоми, вони насправді формуються культурно в кожному народі, в кожній нації. І ми їх використовуємо кожного дня, часом навіть не замислюючись. Ми сьогодні проговоримо про американські ідіоми, а вам таке домашнє завдання. Подумайте, які фразеологізми українські ви вживаєте кожного дня. Їх буде дуже багато. Yes, Chris.
So let's go to the next slide, please. So here's just a small sample, and I'll find more of these as we do more lessons. But the first one is one of my favorites. That's bats in your belfry. So if someone says that to me,
What's a belfry?
a belfry is a church steeple. It's the very top of a church. In Ukraine, it would be like the dome on top of a church.
Belfry – це дзвіниця. Тобто, коли у храмі, от високий найвищий купол, тобто це найвищий купол храму, дзвіниця.
And we know what bats are, the little flying rats with wings. So if Sasha says to me, Chris, you have bats in your belfry, that means she thinks I'm a little crazy.
Тобто, дивіться, якщо дослівно перекласти цю фразу англійською мовою bats in your belfry, це кажани у дзвіниці. Але якщо дійсно я скажу Кріс, у тебе кажани, you have bats in your belfry, це значить, що він не сповна розуму, що він трошки, здурів. Yes,
I do
Chris?
have bats in my belfry. And did you see me do this? This is an example of nonverbal communication. So if Sasha says something to me that I think is crazy, I won't say anything about it, but I will do this, meaning I think she's crazy. So that's nonverbal communication. Do you do this in Ukraine at all?
Yes.
You do. Very good. Very cool. So the next one we have is in hot water. If I'm late for work one more time, I'm going to be in hot water with my boss. That means I'm going to be in trouble.
In hot water, ви всі знаєте, що це в гарячу воду, дослівно. Але, тобто, як навів приклад Кріс, якщо хтось запізниться на роботу, то це буде стане гарячою ситуацією, неприємною з його керівництвом. Тобто така небезпечна ситуація. Yeah.
So the next one is cool as a cucumber. Cucumbers are usually cool, right? I guess so. If you keep them in the refrigerator, they are. So cool as a cucumber means you're calm and collected when there's trouble. So if I use that in a sentence, I can say Sasha is cool as a cucumber in a crisis. That means she can handle stuff. She doesn't get upset. She doesn't freak out. She just handles her business.
Холодний, як гірок, дослівно, але насправді це такий холоднокровний, тобто хто спокійний і зберігає спокій в будь-якій кризовій ситуації.
The next one is, and this is a good one, this came up recently, a breath of fresh air. We think these lessons are a breath of fresh air, meaning it's so much more fun, more interesting than our normal daily routine. So our normal work day is boring, kind of dull, but when we have these lessons, it's a breath of fresh air because they're interesting and we like meeting you all.
Дослівно ковток свіжого повітря, але насправді це щось таке от класне, те, що вам подобається. Тобто для вас це щось надихаюче.
Once in a blue moon, that's an easy one. If
That's
something
rare.
Is it? So once in a blue moon is a very rare event. So if I say, well, I
Один
traveled
на синьому місяці.
please say that again.
Один на синьому місяці перекладається, правильно?
Перекладається одного разу, коли був блакитний місяць. Тобто, якщо це дослівно, це типу
Не блакитний, а
ніколи.
синій.
Синій,
There's no
так.
word for white blue, only cyan.
You're totally right. So, тобто це перекладається одного разу, коли місяць був синім. Коли він буває синім, майже ніколи. Тобто це щось таке дуже рідке. Chris, you're welcome.
But once in a blue moon isn't once in a blue moon.
Let's say it's very rare. It doesn't happen very often, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a blue moon?
It isn't rare.
It is rare.
The meaning is.
So the next one is hit the hay. So hit the hay means I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go to bed. I always hit the hay by midnight, unless I'm drinking too many Red Bulls.
І якщо дослівно перекласти, то це вдарити по сіну. Але якщо це розглядати як фразеологізм, це піти спати.
So the next one is the whole enchilada, and that just means the whole thing. It could be the whole of anything. I saw everything on my trip, the whole enchilada. This project covers the whole enchilada. This project covers everything. Now, do you know what an
I
enchilada
really
is?
hope there wasn't an actual enchilada in your plate.
Do you have enchiladas in Ukraine?
What's an enchilada?
Oh, so who can describe? Kim, can you describe an enchilada for me?
Oh, geez, thanks so much.
They taste very good.
It's a Mexican food, traditional Mexican food wrapped in a tortilla, and it can have a variety of filling. It could have meat, or it could have things like beans, and then it's covered in sauce.
And
It's-
cheese,
Oh, I thought
melted
it
cheese.
was some kind of hedgehog-like animal.
Yeah. Like a chinchilla? No, an enchilada. Very good.
That's good. So,
Thank you, Kim. Друзі, енчілада, це, як ви зрозуміли, це вид їжі, мексиканської їжі. І якщо дослівно, це прям ціла енчілада. Ну, це значить, от повністю, цілком. Yes, Chris or Kim?
and that's all the idiot. We'll do more of these because I think they're fun and I think they're interesting. But I'm curious, are you familiar with these in Ukraine at all? Most of them, or some of them, any of them? Do you use?
Друзі, ви вживаєте якісь з подібних фразеологізмів чи ідіом в українській мові?
Я знаю один англійський ідіом.
Кажи.
An eye for an eye.
Oh.
An eye for an eye. Око
Eye
за
for an
око.
eye. I know that one. That's a good one. An eye
Cool.
for an eye. Good. So, boy, if you think of any that you can share with us, please do so. We're very curious about that.
The bats one is actually very cool sounding because bats are cool. But usually if I think the person isn't in their right mind, I usually just swear at them. But I like bats, so I will use it.
Good. We're going to start a new trend in Ukraine. We're gonna start people saying bats in your belfry.
By the way, once Chris said he was broke, but he seems to drink Red Bull instead for coffee, and this is very
Expensive.
yeah.
That's all. It's all I
He's
spend my
gotcha.
money on. It's all I spend my money on. So.
I would like to be as broke as him.
So I think we're ready for the next slide. And Dawn is going to talk about Yellowstone National Park. She has been there, so she is an expert on the geographical features and wildlife. Dawn?
Yep.
All
So,
yours.
Hey, everybody. I am going to talk about Yellowstone National Park, but I would like for some of you on the call here, if you would volunteer to help me. I'm very shy, and so it'd be great if some of you would be willing to help me read some of the bullet points that I have on the slide. And then I'll talk about a couple of other things related to whatever the picture is that we're looking at the moment. But so I'll start, and if somebody else would volunteer to do one and you know, etc. Sasha, do you want me to go on or let you jump in?
Of course. Друзі, зараз Доун буде вам розповідати про Єлоустонський національний парк, і вона зараз розпочне і розповідатиме вам своїми словами, тому що вона там насправді була, відвідувала його. Але чи можете ви їй допомогти прочитати зараз цей текст, який знаходиться у нас на екрані? Хтось один по одному пункту. Тут раз, два, три, 4 пункти. Тобто, хто бажає, може почати з першого пункту. Хтось хоче?
Founded in 1872, Yellowstone was the title of the world's first national park.
Дякую, Максиме.
Very good, very good. Would somebody else like to try the second sentence?
Yellowstone National Park is
Located.
located in the western United States in the Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming.
Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming.
You both did very good.
Located
Wow,
over
There
Попередній
are a lot
ще.
of seconds. Severe, so don't expect them to say the state names correctly.
He did
Друзі,
very good. Yeah.
наступний парк. Хто це буде читати?
the park is covers more than 2 million acres of wilderness.
Yep.
Huge.
And the park
Huge.
is huge, huge, which is very large. And so it covers 2 million acres of wilderness, is how we pronounce it in English. And
English spelling is very inconsistent.
it
You just
it
have to
is.
remember.
You are absolutely
Lots of
correct.
exceptions. You just have to memorize.
Yes, you are
Anyways,
absolutely correct.
located over one of the largest active supervolcanoes on Earth.
Yes, so here you have this park. That's the oldest park in the world.
Volcanoes should be joined together.
Yeah, not just in the United States. It's the oldest park in the world, and it sits on top this huge
Never oldest. It's the
volcano.
oldest national park.
Yes, correct. You're absolutely correct. Thank you.
So it's the main park of a country.
It's the main park in the largest national park in our country, but it's also the largest across the whole world. Because it's so big and it sits on top of a volcano, but it's safe to go visit there because the volcano hasn't erupted in over 70,000 years. And when it did erupt then, it was just lava. It didn't like explode up in the air. The last time it exploded up in the air like that was 361,000 years ago. So a very long time ago. That doesn't mean it won't erupt at some point in the future. That we have monitors and things on it, the scientists do, so that we hope to have an early warning if that were to happen, because that would be a really big deal. And so if you see where the star is on the map, and I'm pointing over here because I have a map on my big screen so I can
The
see it.
volcano will probably not erupt before technology
You're absolutely
robots
right.
take over.
Yes, it's going to be a very long, long time. But
At least we hope so.
Exactly. It does span 3 different states, but the majority of it, 96% of it, is in Wyoming. And so that's why the star is in Wyoming. 3% of it is in Montana, so it just a little bit in Montana, and then 1% of it is in Idaho. And to give you a perspective of where Chris and myself and Kim are in relationship to the park, if you see on the far left of the screen, you see California. It's that really long state. So Chris lives there. If you went straight across the map from California all the way to the other coast, you would see North Carolina. And I live in North Carolina. And then Kim, if you go just a little bit up above North Carolina and to the left, she's in Kentucky. So out of the 3 of us, Chris has the shortest drive.
Fried chicken.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Kentucky
Fried
Fried Chicken.
chicken.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's what
Yes.
Kentucky's famous for.
Yes, Colonel Sanders. And I'm sorry, I got a fly floating around my head. So if I keep doing this, it's just me trying to get that fly off my face. I apologize. So we can move to the next slide. You all did a great job.
Also, state art.
By the way, this is very interesting, but if I remember correctly, Wyoming is where Brokeback Mountain takes place. So
That's right.
Yeah, I think so.
finally,
Wow. See, y'all know a lot about United States. We need to learn more about Ukraine and the other countries that some of you might be living in at the moment. So in Yellowstone, there lives a lot of animals. And so I'm going to ask for helpers again. If you'll help me read, then I'll share, or we'll play a little game in terms of the animals that you see on the screen. Would
Друзі,
anybody like to read?
читаю один із пунктів. Перший.
bighorn sheep is so cool. I just suddenly noticed this is like majestic animal. I love it.
Very much so.
It is. It is. And it's probably one of the hardest ones to find, to be able to look at in the park. But I have seen one, and I have a picture of one at the top of one of the mountain kind of things. And I zoomed in real close so I could see the mountain and then see the bighorn sheep standing on top of it.
They're gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. Beelzebub, would you like to go ahead and read the first bullet for us since you're talking?
Right. Yellowstone has the largest concentration of mammals in the lower 48 states, with 67 species, including grizzly bears, wolves, bison, and
Elk.
elk.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what this means. Why
Might have
и так далее.
might have bats in his belfry. I don't know.
Насправді, друзі, я теж подивилася, тому що я не знала. I didn't know too. I was checking the vocabulary. Elk – це так само лось, але moose – це лось. Тому в мене буде так само. Dawn, I was checking before the translation because for me elk it's something new too. I mean in the kind of word, not the animal. The animal is obvious.
Yes.
But for me it seems that elk and moose it's like the same animal. What is the difference between them?
Well,
Elks are a little smaller.
yeah.
This is huge.
And moose have these really big horns. You can't see them on the one in the picture here. It don't have horns because it's a mama baby. Mama baby. It's a mama with her baby. But the elk have these really big horns and or antlers, and they look like kind of a fan kind of thing coming out of their head versus the piney, sticky ones that you see on the elk.
But Santa Claus has as his ride elks or moose?
So reindeer are actually closer to elks.
Yeah.
The way they look, and probably they're more closely related than they are to moose. So reindeer
The
are more
elk,
like
the
tame
elk
elk.
is also known as a red deer. So it's closer to a deer than it is a moose.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
bigger than a deer.
If that helps.
Друзі, ми з'ясували, значить, елк, він дуже схожий зовні на лося, але він ближче до оленя, тобто це олень. І як вважають наші американські друзі, у Санта-Клауса в повозці запряжені саме елкс, а мус – це вже звичайний лось. Тому поки що так.
It is also home to 285 species of birds, 19 species of fish, and a variety of reptiles and amphibians.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Does anybody know what's the most dangerous
Don't show
animal on the
examples.
picture?
No.
Yeah, I did not show any examples of everything, but which one of these animals do you think is the most dangerous?
Might be bear or wolf because they're like in groups. But
The bear,
mooses
you're right.
are also very dangerous, but I think people underestimate them.
Yes. You're absolutely right on both of those. The grizzly bear is the most dangerous of these animals.
What about the bison?
Will you say that
Oh,
again?
bison.
Bison.
But he eats grass and like he won't eat you.
The bison.
It might and it might be able to kick you.
Right, but
that's
it
true.
doesn't need to if you don't touch it.
That is exactly right. And there's so many people who go to the park and visit, and they think these animals are like, domesticated, that they would be like, your dog or your cat that's your pet at home. And they try to walk up to these animals, and the animals, they're wild. They don't want to be touched. Sasha, do you want to translate anything before we move on?
I will ask if they want. Друзі, якщо вам щось не зрозуміло, ви, будь ласка, перепитуйте і зупиняйте, тому що, наприклад, всі звірі, які у нас тут вказані, я думаю, ви знаєте, що це бізон, потім, Dawn, I will just go through all the animals just to translate the names of the animals.
Я
Так.
трошки не зовсім зрозумів різницю між elk і deer. І deer. Трошки не
Це
зрозумів.
такий
Отак.
знову оленя. Родич
Так.
оленя.
Вони з одного роду, але як ти бачиш, у елка у нього більші роги, вони у нього величезні.
Да.
Тобто це вже, знаєш, це вже треба більше зараз біологію з'ясовувати, тому що ми всі так
Так.
само, для нас була це новина, що це окремі назви для цих тварин, але різниця більше в розмірі, саме між елк і
Ну, elk по вигляду, наче благородний олень. Такі називають.
Так, наче великий такий, більш великий.
Да, таких називають благородний олень.
Тому, друзі, давайте зараз пройдемося просто по назвах тварин. Bighorn sheep, якщо дивитися за словником, то це взагалі українською мовою називається товсторог, ця тварина. Але дослівно це вівця з великими рогами. Deer – це олень, elk, як ми зрозуміли, це великий олень. Ведмідь грізлі так і називається, мус – це лось, Bald Eagle – це лисий орел, це символ Америки, і вулф – це вовк. І як ви зрозуміли, що в Єллоустонському парку насправді дуже велика, найбільша концентрація савців з усіх штатів Америки, всі савці, які тільки є в Штатах Америки, тобто найбільша концентрація саме в цьому парку.
Except Alaska and Hawaii, because it says the lower 48, but there are 50 states in the United States of America.
Yes, very, very good. And I'm surprised you caught that, but you were absolutely right. So to talk about Yellowstone is one thing, but I have a short video clip that we're going to play so that you can actually experience what it would feel like and the things that you would see within the national park. So if we could play the video, and after the video, we're going to play a little matching game on the places that you see within the video. So.
Друзі, зараз ми покажемо відео, щоб ви подивилися на Єллоустонський парк. Воно коротеньке, там не зовсім гарний звук, але це більше для того, щоб ви подивилися, як воно виглядає. Зараз ми покажемо.
Oh, I don't hear it. Do y'all hear it?
Isabel.
Me neither. You need to share audio.
This beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
But very slowly.
You need to reshare with sound on, Marina.
Маріна, у тебе є помічник.
Yeah, I shared with sound, but
Try playing it now.
Center,
Are you sure?
yellow, and red. While you're there, take a walk around
Oh.
the boardwalk circling the spring and admire the colorful surface. For the best view of the spring, take a short hike up to one of the nearby hills, such as Midway Bluff, for a panoramic vantage point. Number 2, Old Faithful Geyser. Named for its frequent and predictable eruptions, Old Faithful is the gold standard of geysers and the star attraction of the park. Old Faithful puts on a show every 60 to 120 minutes when it roars and spouts boiling water up into the air. You can find predicted eruption times in the adjacent visitor center. Go to the geyser viewing area with bench seating or pull up a chair at Old Faithful Inn. Number 3, get to know the other geysers. Beyond Old Faithful, wander the area to see other geysers, Castle, Grand, Riverside, Beehive, and Daisy, across the Upper Geyser Basin. The boardwalk loop will take you within feet of boiling springs, hissing vents, and sapphire pools. Number 4, Mud Volcano Area. At this geothermal hotspot, the mud volcano area comes alive with the sound of bubbling mud pits and steamy fumaroles. Natural features with names like the Dragon's Mouth Spring, trees cooked by steam, the smell of sulfur, and the bubbling and belching earth give the formerly active volcano an otherworldly feel and make it one of the most intriguing places to visit. Number 5, Mammoth Hot Springs. At Mammoth Hot Springs, the springs rise through the limestone cracks and deposit minerals to create travertine terraces. These chalky rock tiers are living sculptures. Walk the boardwalk and take in one of the park's most impressive natural wonders. There are about 50 hot springs in the area. Number 6, Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is a section along the Yellowstone River between Canyon and Tower Roosevelt. Noted for its striking yellow coloring, the deep river canyon offers stunning views of the Yellowstone Falls. The best vistas are at Artist Point on South Rim and Inspiration Point on the North Rim. Lookout Point provides the best view of the lower falls. The upper falls are visible from several trails and lookouts. Number 7, spot wildlife at Hayden Valley. In the north, Hayden Valley is one of the best places in Yellowstone to spot wildlife. The lush plain is home to elk, moose, bears, wolves, bison, hundreds of species of birds, and more.
Very good. Thank you. We can go to the next slide, please. There we go. So we're going to play a really quick.
Yellowstone National Park. Can you identify the correct responses?
Great. Very good. What is Old Faithful? So on the left-hand side are the questions, and the right-hand side are choices, and they don't line up across the line there. Sasha?
Друзі, зараз нам треба, ми пограємося в гру. Ви подивилися відео, давайте з вами спробуємо пригадати або здогадатися, що таке Old Faithful, тобто що це таке було.
Вибери правильну відповідь.
Так, справа є відповіді, і треба обрати правильну відповідь. Будь ласка, ваші варіанти. Що це таке Old Faithful?
So what is Old Faithful? Is it a mud volcano?
Geyser.
Geyser.
That's right, is a geyser.
All right.
What is the most colorful and dramatic hot spring that you saw those yellows and colors of?
Grand Prismatic Spring.
Yes, it is. Very good. What area has bubbling mud pots?
Грязюка, яка такими бульбашками йшла.
Mud Volcano area.
Yes, excellent. What is the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone? So it's not really the Grand Canyon because we have a park called the Grand Canyon.
Falls on the Yellowstone River.
That's correct. And then where is one of the best spots or places to spot wildlife at?
Hayden Valley.
That's correct, Hayden Valley. So what are the 3 states that Yellowstone spans? Is it A, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho? Or is it B, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana? Or is it C, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming?
В яких 3 штатах знаходиться Єллоустонський національний парк? Яка літера правильна? Як ви вважаєте? A, B чи C?
B.
Do you have any other guesses?
Ще якісь?
The answer is C, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. And if you can flip to the next slide, they can see the answers. And that'll be the end of talking about Yellowstone National Park. And it sounds like y'all were pretty interested in it, so I'm glad we talked about it. And with that, I'll pass it back to Chris or to Kim. Thank you all. It's good to meet you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Kim's going to do the next part. So let's go to the next slide. Kim, you're
Sure.
up.
So hey everyone, I missed you
Why does
last
the
month.
background look AI generated?
You got me. Do you like
You
it?
could have just put images of objects and it'll be just fine.
Well, I like to experiment with AI. I think it's okay to do that.
I thought that was your house.
Do you?
That's not your house?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Some people despise
No, I think he was talking
AI.
about my images on the slide,
Oh,
right?
I gotcha.
Yeah, this is this is real. That's my family behind me, one here and one here.
I thought
And you'll see a lot of plants around me because I like to garden. But
I was going to say you.
no, you got me. I used Microsoft Copilot to create this little title slide. So you're exactly right. But I missed you last month and I didn't get to talk about St. Patrick's Day, but Chris said you had a lot of fun talking about Sasha, I'll let you translate.
Нім розповідатиме вам сьогодні про символи
Okay.
удачі і про взагалі забобони, які існують в Сполучених Штатах. You're welcome, Kim.
Thank you. All right, you can go to the next slide.
Okay, now this photo is real.
Thank you. I love it that you're my editor. We always say AI is great, but it still needs people to look at it. So yes, this one's real. And we talked last time about a four-leaf clover and how it was associated with St. Patrick's Day, but the four-leaf clover is also a good luck charm that is a year-round thing that's supposed to bring you good fortune if you find a piece of clover that has 4 leaves instead of 3.
Друзі, найперший символ удачі – це, як і у нас, чотирилисний, українською мовою це конюшина, російською це клевер. Чотирилисничок, то
A
він
clover doesn't even have to necessarily have 3 or 4 leaves.
usually it has 3.
Yeah.
There are clovers with more than 4 leaves, but I doubt there are 2 or 1 leaved ones.
Yeah, for 4-leaf clovers. And I did find a couple. They really exist, but they're hard to find. And so I wanted to talk about other good luck charms that we have in the United States.
Маріна,
Yes, please.
next slide, please.
So here are just a few, and I want to hear from you if you have good luck charms. But one that we have in this country, especially out west, near Yellowstone, when Dawn was talking to you about that, people on farms and ranches will hang a horseshoe open end up to bring good luck and to protect their livestock from negative things.
So if it's
Друзі,
pointing,
символ удачі
so if it open-ended facing downward is the opposite.
That's
So
bad luck. Yes.
Так, але пам'ятайте, що підкова має бути підвішена саме догори, тобто догори цією порожнинкою, а не вниз.
I believe that it's facing downward, it brings bad luck.
Yeah, if it were to fall, you'll see cowboys putting that horseshoe back up with the opened end up to protect things. They're very superstitious.
Mine points down so that it explains my whole life and all the bad luck I've had.
There you go, Chris,
gonna
all
do this.
along. You just
I'm gonna-
needed to switch the
I'm
horseshoe.
gonna turn it up as soon as we're done.
Very good. The next one is a rabbit's foot, which kind of sounds gross to me, but carrying a rabbit's foot for good luck as a protection against trickery or evil spirits. And this goes
Wait.
all the way back to
Isn't
ancient
it
Sil-
rabbits? Wait, a rabbit's foot will be normally bad if it's associated with good luck shows and you're basically sacrificing a rabbit. But if it brings good luck, is it good or bad?
Well,
For the rabbit.
yeah, in ancient times, it was a real rabbit's foot. So yeah, it could have been related to sacrificing a rabbit. Today, it's more like the picture on the slide. It's a fake rabbit's foot that people carry as a good luck charm.
Наступний символ удачі – це лапка кролика. І якщо раніше це були дійсно лапки кролика, то зараз це вже більше якби іграшкові лапки кролика, але вважається, що вони приносять дуже класну удачу, якщо їх носити з собою. Які?
The next one on this slide is a ladybug. And when you find a ladybug in the United States, if it has 7 spots, it's considered to be a sign of good luck.
Especially one with 7 spots.
That's right. And now's the
Is it
season.
easy to
Every
even
spring, the
find a
ladybugs
ladybug?
come out. Go ahead.
Wait, is it even easy to find a ladybug in the US?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Every spring they come out, and there are a lot of ladybugs, sometimes too many ladybugs. But you'll see people picking them up and counting the spots. There are 7.
Or are 7-spotted ladybugs common?
Not really. It's like a 4-leaf clover. These things are supposed to be hard to find. And that's why they bring good luck, because they're special.
Друзі, зараз Кім розповідала ще про символ удачі – це Божа коровка. І, як ви зрозуміли, в ідеалі у неї має бути 7 цяточок чорних на спинці. Тобто тоді вона саме щаслива. Які?
All right, next slide. So a few more, and we might even be able to think of some idioms on some of these, but the first one is actually Native American in origin. It's called a dream catcher. Have any of you seen a dream catcher before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's believed to carry positive spiritual energy. And while you're sleeping, a lot of people hang them over the bed to bring about good dreams.
Ловець снів. Ви всі бачили його в фільмах, він зараз от посередині прям слайду намальований. Тобто, насправді, це більш такий енергетичний оберіг, який оберігає ваші сни від поганих сил, поганих духів. Дуже гарна штука. І які?
The next one is dice. And in the United States, Americans have a lot of games that we play with dice regularly. And so a lot of games of chance. And people actually hang...
Snakes and ladder. Wait.
Say it again.
This die has 7 spots.
Yeah, this one is weird, isn't it? It's not like your 1 through 6 that we usually play, that you probably play as well in games. But people take
you should have used the A for this one.
Yeah, they take these odd-looking dice that, you're right, have very different dots on them than a regular die. And they hang them in their car.
Women is already at this point.
Yeah. So they actually put them in their cars to protect them while they're driving.
Наступний символ удачі – це так звані кубики, які ми використовуємо, коли граємо. І Досить часто автомобілісти, ось такий, ви бачите, справа досить нетиповий кубик, на якому 7 цяточок. Тобто досить часто автомобілісти просто розміщують такий кубик у машині для того, Thank you, Максим, для того, щоб він приносив удачу.
And then the last one is a penny. And if you find a penny laying on the ground, and especially if it's heads up, where you can see President Abraham Lincoln's face, you say this. You say, find a penny, pick it up all day long, you'll have good luck. So it's this little rhyme that we say, but also it's an idiom. There's an idiom that says, a penny for your thoughts.
Ще у американців символ удачі – це пенні, особливо, якщо ви знайдете його на дорозі. Якщо він буде, так би мовити, ви знаєте, що на монетках є орел і є решка. Тобто, якщо він буде орлом догори, в даному випадку президентом Лінкольном, і тоді є такий віршик коротенький Рима, що знайди пенні, підніми його, і весь день у тебе буде дуже таким щасливим, вдачливим. Яким?
So those are all good luck charms. Do you have any good luck charms in the Ukraine?
Instead of these dice, some of our drivers from the, I don't know, generation, there's one sector of people that usually just have an icon of Jesus in their car, and they think it would protect them from crashing. I don't know.
Yeah, we have that too. People will put a cross in their dash. I don't know if I've ever seen little Jesus hanging in the car, but that's cute. That's a good example.
My
Is
parents
it
used to
like
have one
instead
like
of
that.
insurance policy?
Insurance is good too. I agree. Any others that you can think of for good
Ще
luck?
які, які ви знаєте? Може, які ви використовуєте? Можете українською мовою сказати.
This is I think this was a popular tradition some time ago. People would say that $1 in your pocket or in your
Phone case.
money bag. I forgot how to say this. Well, a $1 would attract money or something. Like exactly
Is
dollar,
the
not
lesson ending soon? Because it's 1955.
Yeah, we're getting close to being done.
Just about, we have one slide left. So let's talk quickly.
There are 6 slides left.
Oh no.
We could do those later, so go ahead and finish up, Kim.
Okay, will do. So the next slide talks about how to avoid bad things. We have good luck charms, and then we have superstitions. The first one that I will share with you is called knocking on wood. And if you knock on wood after saying something positive, it's supposed to prevent bad things from happening. So you would say something like, I'm having a great day, and then you go knock on wood, and you actually find wood and knock on it to keep your day going well.
We have that too.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then the second one is for people who like to cook. If you spill salt while you're cooking, you're supposed to take a pinch of it and throw it over your left shoulder to ward off bad luck, because spilling salt is bad luck.
Вибачте, мені вже пора. Дякую за такий продуктивний урок. До побачення, гарного вам вечора.
Приходь ще.
Удачі. Звичайно. Удачі вам всім.
Дякую тобі
Good
теж.
luck.
Thank you. Our one student left us because he has to go, unfortunately. He said goodbye to everyone.
That's okay. We've got one more left, and that's breaking a mirror. And if you break a mirror, which is really hard to do, but if you break a mirror, it's said that you are going to have 7 years of bad luck. And there's a lot of stuff about
Wait,
numbers in our
it's a
culture.
superstition. Why does it bring bad luck?
Yeah, the ancient Romans believed that life renewed every 7 years. And so they used the image of a mirror to symbolize that. And that's why that is. And I learned that too when I was researching these. I didn't know why it was 7 years of bad luck, but there you go. We can go to the next slide, but we're just about out of time. Here are some others that we can talk about next time, but a lot of these we said when we were kids, like walking under a ladder is bad luck. Or we had this little saying when we walk down the street, if you step on a crack in the sidewalk, you break your mother's back. So you'll see kids walk and skip over the cracks in the sidewalk.
Насправді це, ви зрозуміли, sidewalk cracks – це тоді, коли зруйнований тротуар, ніби такі тріщини на тротуарі, і діти уникають, щоб на них наступати, тому що є таке повір'я, що якщо ти наступиш на цю тріщину, то тоді зламається спина твоєї мами. Ну,
That sounds like really weird. I don't know, maybe
Nuts.
you should check this children's mental health.
It's so true. I think about that, and we said it when we were little and didn't even think about how terrible that was. And then finally, the number 7 is usually associated with good luck, and the number 13, and for those of you who like horror movies, you'll know this, that the number 13 is usually associated with bad luck, like movies like the Friday the 13th.
That's it.
thank you, Kim.
Any questions?
I have a
No.
question, but it's not related to superstitions. So should I ask it?
Yeah, you can ask it real quick. I have time. If anybody else has to go,
Ah,
please,
okay.
you understand, but I have
So
a few
I
minutes.
might have like forget it, but I'm not sure if I know who Chris work as. Like, is he a teacher or he's just teaching English for people who don't know English? Who you work as in your country?
Okay, I am not a professional teacher. I do this because it's fun and I want to support Ukraine as much as I possibly can. We all of us from on here, Kim, Donna, myself, and our other members feel the same way. So we mainly do it to support Ukraine. And my title is like, I forget what it is now. It's analyst or specialist or something like that. Or I may be the CEO of my company. I'm not sure. Yeah. So Kim, tell me I'm the CEO, and I'll just go with that.
All right, we'll let you
You'll
penny
let
for
me
your
pick
thoughts, Chris.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Matt.
Bye.
So,
Bye.
yeah. So,
Друзі,
anyway.
якщо вам треба йти, ви можете спокійно від'єднуватися від конференції. Якщо у вас є запитання, будь ласка, ставте їх. Ми вам потім надішлемо посилання на наступний урок через місяць і будемо дуже раді вас бачити, тому що у нас будуть нові класні теми. А у кого є запитання, залишайтеся і ставте запитання.
I
So,
have one more question, but it's again not related to this theme. But okay, if you would to be naming a one serial killer, a one American serial killer, so we would say like in our country, we would say like this is Andrei Chikatilo, but he was like in Soviet Union, but on the territory of Russia, but he like was born in Ukraine. We would say he's like the most famous serial killer in our territory. Who would you say would be the most famous serial killer, but you don't have to say
I
Charles
don't.
Manson, because Charles
Yeah.
Manson
We have a
didn't
lot in this
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, I
Man-
know, but
Fun
Manson's
fact
more
for you.
famous.
So
Yeah.
I teach criminal justice classes as a part-time job away from this job at Lexis. And we study serial killers. And I would say either Charles Manson, but I think also Ted Bundy is very infamous
Yeah.
in our country. We
Right.
have quite a few. Funny story for you that you'll enjoy. I sometimes call my cat Ted Bundy because he kills things and brings them to me to brag. It's so gross, but I sometimes call him that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I heard of this guy. I would
Yeah.
say probably Ed Kemper. But
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually don't see people talking about him, but he's like it's a terrible person. He should be more famous for his
Yeah.
I don't know how
They're
to
all
call
terrible,
it.
and there have been a lot of movies created, right, about them, and a lot
Right.
of documentaries, so you can probably check those out if you're interested. But yeah,
Have
we
you
have quite a few that we study.
have you seen this Mindhunter series?
Yes, one of
Yeah.
my
I liked
favorites,
it.
actually.
Right? I liked it too.
Yeah, and that's based on a true story. So the
Yeah.
FBI created a special branch in the 70s to investigate this phenomenon. And Mindhunter is a series on Netflix that's based on that. So yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
That's cool. Well,
I'm
this
sorry, but I going to do my homework.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
well,
Bye-bye.
that sounds like a
Goodbye.
very good decision.
Have a
I
good
think
evening.
I'm the only one here who like doesn't do
Goodbye.
anything and then
Bye.
Bye.
It's
Bye.
good talking to you.
bye.
Maria, I promise you next time we'll do the slasher movies for sure. So, and I'm going to add a little bit more to information to that too. So, but
Whoa! I'm looking forward for this. I'm so excited. Like I love this genre. It's so stupid, but I like this. Actually, I have right now a figure of Leatherface of Baba standing on my desk,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's really pretty and has a chainsaw, and he looks stupid, but I love him very much.
Yeah, he's quite a guy, old good old Leatherface. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna be going and not bother you now. Bye.
You're
bye-bye.
never a
Goodbye.
bother. We enjoy talking to you.
I'm so glad you made it this time. So
Yeah.
we'll see you
It
next
was
time.
cool hearing you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Друзі, є запитання, якщо є, ставте.
I think that's it
I think that's it.
for the day.
Thanks, everybody.
Fantastic.
Thank you
Thank
very
you. Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you. It
Bye-bye.
was very wonderful. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.